Being born in Nigeria, you are automatically -10 in the game, like in a match. You're already 10-0. I mean this in the global space. I mean in the sense of the global space. Once you're Nigerian and you leave Nigeria, the identity, you need to define yourself against what the world already knows about Nigerians. So that's the first 1-0 against you. The second is the socioeconomic situation is not so good, and some youths have soiled the name Nigerian with cybercrime. Ever since I got here, I've lost count of the number of debates I've engaged in trying to define who a Nigerian is. I am in Italy right now, but I defend the identity of 200 million Nigerians back home. And the pressure, it's both societal from home and it's personal for me too. I am here in Valenzano because of the welcoming environment, and yeah, it is welcoming. Friendly people. The difference between Lagos and Bari is that Bari is more serene, is more calm. I think that's what I love the most about it. The fact that it is serene and calm. You have to be at alert in Lagos. You cannot just relax because anything can happen to you. You have to be at alert, you understand? You have to be aware of yourself, you have to be aware of your environment, you have to be aware of everyone around you. You have to be cautious and be smart. I was not really aware about the concept of racism or the reality of racism in Nigeria because it is barely not in existence. But a Nigerian living the shores of Nigeria, like I am at the moment, it's not something someone should experience, especially when you're not even in your own country. It's dehumanizing because an instance is you're in the bus, there are some empty seats, but you can't sit on it because someone feels a bag should be on that seat, on the empty seat. And you're an human being, you're standing because the empty seats needs to be filled by someone's bag. And this is just the most minute example I can give. Ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to do something of global impact, and it has always been my childhood drive. I used to say, okay, I like to work for the United Nations, but now it's not just I want to work for the United Nations. The question is, why can't I be the Secretary General of the United Nations? It's possible, right?
Absolutely possible.
Yeah. And I've been doing a lot of practicing my lyrics. Yeah, I've been trying not to be anxious, I told my mom, I told my brothers, I told my girlfriend, like, oh, it's happening next 2 weeks. It's happening next week. Oh, come on, it's tomorrow. But I'm not anxious. I'm obviously anxious. Just calm down. When you take and you take and you take, what is left in the wake? You just take and you take and you take. But what's left in the way? Now you can lecture me on my history. Now you can lecture me on my history. My version is about the injustices we've been experiencing as Africans, and I want to believe it's also the same for Asians because our friends from the continent and we kind of share the same perspective on this topic because we face the same thing. And my lyrics has to do with educating my listeners in a different perspective, not just about enjoying the melody or the rhyme. It's kind of interesting bringing real life experience economics into music and trying to communicate a message. To be honest, I think today was better than the best because I heard my voice in a particular tone. I never believed I could sing. I'm so impressed about myself and this version of me. In my social impact projects, I was able to identify 20 elderly people in my community. These elderly people are those who are quite disadvantaged as to having access to social welfare and kind of being cut off from the community. So what I did was I was able to organize a team of volunteers. So together with my family and the volunteers, I was able to reach out to 16 of these 20 identified elderly and went to visit them in their homes, spent quality time with them, talking about their experiences, about social issues which goes across the economic, social and cultural perspectives of Nigeria and how it's affected them directly. In the process of that, we were able to share different perspectives and kind of create a bond. So a number of the volunteers are now good friends with the elderly after the outreach, and that's a good thing. The biggest transformation for me in the Versions Fellowship is I am now confident in my own voice, and I thought I was outspoken. If at all I am more outspoken right now. I'm more confident in my own voice, in my own tone, and in my own message, and I am ready to say my truth the way it is without being shy about it or diluting it. So I think this is what the Versions Fellowship has done to me. It has given me a boost to be myself, to be my real self, and not just that, to even push others to key into this energy. So I think that that's the most important. It's not just about my own personal growth, but to let others tap into this energy and ignite themselves as well to this heights. Yeah.